YouTube, how the fudge you doing? I'm just kidding. I had to do it because I'm wearing the Nate Shot shirt now. What's going on, YouTube? And started here right back at it with a new video. Wanted to talk about the Call of Duty North America Regionals. Just finished. It was a great event. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just going to go through the 14 teams that qualified, and then I'm going to get into the final four at least. I'll talk about all of them, though. I'm going to go just straight. I'm going to go down and go work my way up. The 14 teams that qualified were below zero, threes up. Those are the last two teams that actually qualified. Below zero actually beat Rise. That was a big shocker. Rise Nation is not going to COD Champs, and immediately after they lost, they made a roster change. They dropped the whole team and picked up, I don't remember everyone. It was like Perplex, Vexed, Legal, and Chino. So it was like the old Denial team without Zuma at Chino. They dropped the whole roster, so you have Miyagi, Pac-Man, all of them are gone. So below zero, congrats to them for making filling that last spot. Threes up, congrats to them. They're playing really well as well. The next one, that's it. They got 13 and 14th technically. 9 through 12 was Prophecy, Strictly Business, Automatic Real, and Orbit. Prophecy played really well in the beginning. Then they kind of just fell apart near the end. Like they started off well, and then they finished off really bad, in my opinion. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, they did qualify, so I guess that's all that really matters to them. Same thing with SBAR. They had like really rough events. Strictly Business did place in the way they placed because they lost to ON. It was off stream. It was Fizzer versus Killa. That's the second time that's happened. It's off stream. I'm so upset by that. I wanted to watch that match, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna get into the top 8 now. In 7th and 8th place was Team Caliber and FaZe Black. TK started off strong, and then they lost to Optic in, I believe it was winners round 2. But they qualified. That's okay. You know, getting the top 8, I don't think they really mattered to them. FaZe Black only placed 7th and 8th. They didn't place any higher because Proofy had to leave. He had a cruise that he planned for months ago, and he was leaving this Sunday. So even if they kept winning throughout yesterday, they couldn't play anymore today. That's the only reason that they placed at the place they got. I assume that they would have gotten the same place anyway, regardless of Proofy staying or not. No like disrespect to FaZe Black, but I just feel like the other 6 teams that placed higher would have just edged them out, and they're just like a little bit better than them. In 5th and 6th was Envious and Team Revenge. Envy started off well, and then again had to go against the green wall, and they got smacked. I'm not trying to lie, not trying to some front right there, but they just got smacked by them. Revenge, shout out to them. They caused some upsets. They caused people who had made like their brackets and the bracket shows, caused it all to be stirred up and mixed up. Shout out to them. Amazing team. You know, Facento, Aqua, Remy, and Nagafan. Nagafan was using an Amelie in all game modes and was just smacking people with it. It was insane. Again, Revenge was definitely throwing people off guard. They got a 5th, 6th finish, which was really good in my opinion for them. And here we go. In 4th place, this is where the money comes involved. It was a small prize pool of $10,000, but hey, money's money. I want to get into this real quick. Last year, people said that the Call of Duty Regionals didn't mean anything to them. Like Aches was talking about, oh, that championship didn't matter. It doesn't count. I think this year, it counts. I mean, there was money. It was a small prize pool, but it was still money. So in my opinion, this championship counts. And to be quite honest, I am one of those people who I'd count last year's as a championship. I mean, there was still a trophy. You still got trophies. You still got the #1 seed for champs. And you still won. And, you know, if I was in Strictly Business's shoes who won last year, I would count it as a championship. And I guarantee if Aches in Complexity won that, yeah, so they would have counted it. Aches would be like, I'm a 20-time champion. So you know what, Aches, fuck you. I'm just kidding. I love Aches, actually. I'm a huge fan of Aches, actually, despite him being the way he is. Anyhow, in 4th place, Optic Nation. I love that team so much. Online, they seem to struggle a lot. But they definitely showed up at this event. They started off, they had a rocky beginning. They worked their way through the losers bracket. They qualified. They beat a bunch of good teams. They placed 4th. No shame in that at all. In 3rd place was FaZe Red. FaZe Red had a really good beginning. Aches really came to this event and proved that he wanted to win and or place really well. Because at Season 1 championships, Aches wasn't there. He'll even admit that he just didn't play. He didn't play well. They went under practice. They went under prepared. Aches didn't give a crap, and that's why they didn't place well. Now they got 3rd, really well. I definitely see them getting better. On paper, that team is so good. It really just depends on if Aches shows up or not, and if they're doing what they're supposed to do. If Slashers would have battled and Slang, and Haggie's actually helping enable out with the objective work, or Aches is doing that, like if those three, it depends on who's doing what in those three, like who's going off, because if any of those three, not counting Slasher's doing his thing, if any of those three players are going off, the other two have to pick up the extra objective work. So it really depends on who's going off and who's picking up the slack. If one of them's not doing well and the other one's not picking up the slack in time, they're not going to win. Enable, in my opinion, is a great player. He had a rough weekend, but it wasn't his fault. He was doing a lot of objective work. Like one of the capture the flags, he went even like 17 and 17, but he had 5 caps. Or on uplink, he went negative, but he had a lot of uplinks. Then that's normally not like him, because in season 1 and the first event, the Open, the 25,000 Open, he was dropping 40 bombs like it was like out the sky. He was probably arguably one of the best players of like those weekends. But sadly, this time around, he had to pick up a lot of the objective slack because he just had to do it. Because Haggy couldn't, or Haggy wouldn't. I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying like it just had to be done. Someone had to do it. He did it. He didn't have an impressive event. He's already said on Twitter. But placing third is nothing wrong with that. They're probably going to get a good seed for the champs. In second place was Denial. Denial had a pretty good beginning, pretty weird middle, and they had a nice little losers bracket run. Obviously, like they got knocked in the losers bracket early by Revenge. Revenge beat him, I believe, 3-1 or 3-0. No, it was a 3-0. It was a 3-0 because day 1 and day 2 on main stage, I forgot to say this, every match on main stage was a 3-0, except for one yesterday and Friday. Every main stage, every Alpha Stream match was a 3-0, and there was one 3-1. Everyone kept saying it was Rainbow's fault. I agree with that in a sense, because the one match that was a 3-1, Rainbow left the event for a second to go do something, like lunch break, I guess. I don't know. He just left the venue for a minute, came back, and it was a 3-1. So Rambo cursed that for sure, because Rambo was in the analyst test the whole weekend, which is awesome to see Rambo. I love Rambo so much. He's a great player. Sadly, he can't play in this one because he helped develop the game a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And last but not least, of course, first place, Optic Gaming. Congrats to them. They're a solid team. Congrats on their three-peat. They dominated. They only lost 2 maps the entire weekend. So it was like they started off the game. They started off 12-0, and then they went 15-1. So yeah, they lost 1 map the whole weekend. I'm sorry. It was an 18-1 map count, and they lost the one to FaZe Red Hardpoint by like literally 6 or 7 points. They barely lost it. But let's not stress this a lot. Even though it was 3-0, it wasn't a dominating 3-0 performance. For the most part, near the end at least. TK and Denial, I think, have the best team. And even FaZe Red, I'll throw FaZe Red in that little hat too, like their name in the hat. They have the best 3 teams. Those are the best 3 teams in my opinion that can go toe-to-toe to Optic right now. They just have to have all 4 members fire on all 4 cylinders to take them out. Because Denial, honestly, even though it was a 3-0, it was close. Optic won the Hardpoint by 10. Optic won the Search 6-5. They just went clutch. That was egg lit, and that's what they said in the interview after the match. They said, Optic said, Nitro said, what makes us separate from everyone else is we know how to go clutch. We know when to go clutch, and I do notice that because against TK, they won the Hardpoint barely. They won the Search 6-5, and they just knew when to clutch the rounds and clutch the wins. But anyhow, congratulations, Optic Gaming. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, hopefully they show pools for COD champs. I'll go into some little silly thing with that. Wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and if you're new to this parts, please be so kind to the subscribe button down below. And remember, if there's always a problem in your way, just hashtag erase them. Peace.